I think we're seeing a U.S. economy that is deteriorating. I think of it as different sickly canaries that are appearing in the coal mine. They're not dead yet necessarily, but they're showing signs of real illness. And we're likely to see more, I think, as the year progresses. First of all, consumer confidence has taken a hit. What we're seeing also is just signs of reduced consumption. We're seeing a pickup in continuing jobless claims. We're at the highest level since November of 2021. So all this says to me is it's not many canaries yet, but I think what it's telling me is that this economy is deteriorating.
Hey everybody, back with another dose, bull, boom, bear, bust. My name is JJ. Thank you for joining in here. She's absolutely right. The economy is deteriorating. Does that mean the stock market's crashing? No, of course not. It's mostly the top 10%, the billionaires that own the stock market. So the stock market continues to go up as individuals, as people, for the most part, about 70% of the population, barely scraping by, getting further and further into debt every month. Just living paycheck to paycheck, folks. We're going to talk about more of that here, how people are dealing with it or not dealing with it, unfortunately. And a lot of other news that just came out here that's going to be kind of maybe surprising to a lot of you. So make sure you are stay in tune here. Later in this video, we're going to talk about this current news that just dropped here. But first, let's hear from a few people that are maybe dealing with this, maybe not dealing with this economic situation right now.
The United States and nobody is willing to talk about it. If we as a country don't make a change here, we are cooked. The media doesn't give it the attention it
The United States is cooked. Do you agree or not agree?
deserves. Politicians won't say it out loud, but our country, it's drowning in over $36 trillion in debt. And here's the terrifying part. We're now spending more than $1 trillion a year just to pay the interest, not the debt itself.
Just to pay the interest.
Just the interest. It takes my breath away whenever I talk about it. Imagine you maxed out your credit card that you have, then took out more, and when the bill comes due, it's you who's going to pay the price. Higher taxes, slash services, or worse, God forbid, a financial collapse that would make 2008 look like a hiccup. If we don't change course here, folks, if we don't stop printing money, overspending, and kicking this can down the road, your future, our future, won't be stable jobs and affordable homes. It'll be layoffs, rent that you can't afford, and retirement accounts that don't mean anything. Heck, some of you are saying right now, I'm already feeling the effects. They'll try to distract you with these headlines and drama, but this is the real threat we are facing, and nobody's coming to save us.
Folks, all true, all things we've talked about here in this channel. The U.S. economy, is it cooked? Well, it's cooked for some people, and some other people, it's well done and fried completely, unfortunately. But the cost of living, folks, continues to be a strain on people. It doesn't mean people aren't doing things. People are still vacationing, shopping, of course, Amazon trucks. Every time I go out and drive, I see 10 or 15 Amazon trucks. People still buying things mostly on credit, going further into debt to finance the lifestyles that Americans have just become accustomed to, and Americans have grown to feel like they've earned, or that they're deserved no matter what, even if they have record levels of debt, folks. So we're going to talk about that here. What's going to happen, what just happened, and what's going to happen down the road. Now, that was July Bermudez 68. I'm not sure if that's the person that actually created it, but that's who put it out there. And it's interesting. And one of the comments said, that's why our leaders are trying to start a war. That's something we've talked about here. That's a very likely possibility. Another person said, we could just keep giving tax breaks to the rich. That'll help, right? That never helps. More tax cuts on the way for the most wealthy. And is it going to help? Is it going to trickle down? No, it's definitely not going to. They're just going to keep more money at the top, more profits for themselves, and pay people just enough to keep them from leaving. In fact, people are leaving some jobs, but people that leave their jobs, they better have another job to go to, because you miss one or two paychecks, you're done, you're toast, you're cooked, as the individual that we just talked about, or that we just watched, had said. You're cooked if you miss one or two paychecks for most people. Now, maybe you're in the top income tier and you don't have to worry about missing a couple paychecks. If you are in that position, that's awesome. Congratulations, but you're in a very small segment and you're in a very small portion of the population. Most people can't afford to miss one, especially two paychecks. That's just what happens when the cost of living is so high. And that's what happens when people finance their lifestyle. They finance it. When everything's financed, everything from your home to your car to now even groceries with buy now, pay later, prices continue to go up. That's why we haven't seen any really decrease in the cost of living on a broad scale. All right, let's go to another individual. This is the Journey 76, and listen to how he breaks it down here.
Here is 1990. The average annual income for Americans is $35,500 a year. They can buy a brand new car for $14,000. They get a gallon of gas for $1.04. And to purchase a home that year, it's $79,000. Let's fast forward to 2025. The average median income in this country is $74,000. You can buy a car for $53,000. You're going to pay $4 for a gallon of gas, and the average home price is $416,000. I'm no mathematician, and I'm no expert, but boomers had the most beneficial time financial-wise of any generation. And they are generally the quickest to tell you that you're lazy. Kids these days, they're aware of those numbers I just gave you. So if you're Gen X like me, you witnessed how good the boomers have it, and now your kids, our kids, have it like this. We were the generation that scraped by and learned how to do a lot with very little. I don't see a lot of hope for kids these days. Let's remember that when none of them want to work at a fast food joint. Let's remember that.
Totally agree, folks. Totally agree. He's right. The baby boomers had it very, very good. And when you see the age group of people that own their home, it's the highest home ownership rate is the baby boomer generation. And they do criticize the younger people a lot. So we've talked about younger people and their spending habits here. Is that a problem? Yes. Is that the entire problem? No. There's a reason why people are taking vacations, and even though they don't own a home, the people that don't own homes actually might even be taking more vacations because they have a little bit extra money, or in this case, credit to use on their credit cards, without having higher overhead or the risk of losing their home. So even people that are in severe levels and unpayable amounts of debt are still taking vacations, right? We talked about that here recently. Also, people are still spending money on entertainment items, shopping. People they don't want to just live to pay bills, right? You want to work and you want to have some fun. And to have fun, most people just have to finance it. They have to go in debt. Nobody wants to work just to pay bills. So then you start asking yourself, am I going to work just to pay bills and be in debt still? Or am I going to work, pay bills, and be in more debt, but maybe have a little bit of fun? People are choosing the second option. Work, pay bills, add on a little more debt, but have a little fun anyways. Take vacations, go shopping, buy new clothes, right? Do the things that people do. Go to Starbucks, right? And I'm not saying you should do these things. I'm trying to just get to the kind of the root of the thought process behind people that do that. I've been there before. I've had bills that I needed to pay, debt that I needed to pay off, but instead I went and did something or bought something that I didn't have to have because it made me feel like I was having a little fun. I went to an amusement park when I wasn't able to pay off my debt before, when I had credit card debt. I went to took a vacation, a few vacations, right? Thankfully, I'm at the spot now where I do have money that I can just pay cash with a lot of those things, but most people, I would dare to say about 70% of people, are just financing these things, these fun things that people like to do. And also, a lot of people want to just point to the United States, or they'll just look at the United States and they think that we're somehow having it much worse here, but look at this. This is worldwide, folks. Look at somebody's grocery bill. I believe it's Australia here. Take a listen.
This is what you could get from Woolworths here in Tasmania and Hobart. I'm sure it's the same everywhere in Australia. But this is going to come in at $100. Just this stuff here. I mean, you could literally go
$100
through
for that?
the express checkout with all these items because there's not many there. And it's just criminal. It's basically just my midweek, get what we need for the next couple of days of school kind of shop. These are from Woolies. I do have another order coming from Coles because Woolworths were...
Folks, is she exaggerating? $100 for that? No way. I mean, maybe. I mean, depending on where she's at,
out of
what type of stores they have. Sounds like they don't have an Aldi there.
strawberries, pistachios, pikelets, crumpets, that kind of thing. This is the breakdown for you. We've got some chips. We've got 2 packets of the microwave rice. We've got some green beans, some avocados, some bananas, blueberries, raspberries, a little satay sauce, bread. I'm fully aware I could cut this
Had to fast forward it behind the whiny kid, sorry.
down. I'm pretty sure there's a home brand of these. There's also cheaper alternatives to this $8 butter. I could have probably just got a handful of these instead of getting the packet. And I could have got some home brand chips in this flavour instead of like the Smiths. But, I mean, the kids prefer it. I definitely could have got a cheaper bread. Kid chicken breast for $4 from the deli.
And yes, that was Australia, by the way. It's Tasmania, which is an island off the south mainland, I believe, of Australia. So do you guys believe that? Australia? Probably on the island, things are more expensive as things have to be shipped in. Looks like you have Hawaii is very expensive. Sounds about right, though, I guess, if you have to factor that in. The cost, folks, $100 just for a little bit of groceries. And it's not getting better. In fact, things just got worse. Let's go ahead and bring up some current news. And the things you've been hearing in the news, you probably have heard positive, or maybe a positive spin on the news. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Employers in June added 147,000 jobs. Now, you may think that sounds good, but a lot of these jobs are people that just quit their other jobs to try to find something better. And ask yourself this, are these jobs enough to keep people out of debt, to keep up with the cost of living? I think all of us probably would agree that most of these jobs are not able to do that. They're not able to keep up with the cost of living right now. Also, unemployment ticked down to 4.1%, but we all know, you should know by now, this doesn't include the long-term unemployed, because once you're unemployed for a certain period of time, you're no longer counted as unemployed. You're not even in the labor force once you're out of work for a period of time. And also, what else do we know? What do we find out here? The U.S. prices in the U.S. for China-made goods on Amazon rise faster than inflation. The biggest growing sector of the economy, folks, e-commerce, prices rising faster than the official inflation number, folks. So I think most things that we have to pay for and choose to pay for in some cases are rising faster than the official inflation number. And it's becoming more obvious to people, finally. I mean, I think we've always known this. If you've been on this channel, you've always known this. But look what just came out here recently on the numbers and the data that are fed to us through a lot of the news programs. Look at this, folks. Recent article out of the Post. Why some fear the official data on the U.S. economy is wrong. Budget strains, survey gaps, political pressure fuel uncertainty over key measures of inflation, jobs, and growth, folks. So you think they're not manipulating these numbers to make things actually look better than they really are? The person trapped in debt right now, the tens of millions of people that can't pay back their loans, especially student loans, but other loans now as well, auto, even foreclosures are ticking up. Those people, they don't care about a GDP number or an unemployment rate. They just care about what affects them, right? They don't care about economic growth, right? Nobody really cares about that. I mean, we talk about it because economists talk about it, but we talk about it in a way that kind of reveals, I think, the disconnection between, okay, the economy may be growing statistically because people are buying things they can't afford. That's economic growth by definition, more people spending money, but it doesn't mean that people are doing better. And the people that are spending money, most of them are spending borrowed money, folks. And also, companies are always looking for ways to get rid of you. Look at this. Managers are using AI to determine raises, promotions, and layoffs. AI, folks. So they're going to scrape through your data, your statistics, your performance numbers using an AI tool and use that to determine if you should get laid off or not, without looking at maybe some unfairness between comparing you to other employees. Maybe you're doing more work. Maybe you're going above and beyond helping customers when other people don't. Things like that don't get looked at or don't get included in just a number that gets put out. Folks, you're just a number. They're looking to lay you off. That's one of the scary parts here. And things continue to get worse. Let me know what you think about all this. The cost of living. Are the people correct that we looked at here today on the people that presented their views? Am I correct? Let me know the gaps where I missed it. Add to the story here down in comments, folks. As always, keep stacking. Bye for now. Big love and peace.